Hello. Hello, everybody. Oh, yay. Smelvin and Smeggy in the chat. Smelvin and Smeggy in the chat. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Thanks, Bedouin, for that. Yarbo. Don't growl, huh? Okay. 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 Thanks, Bedouin. Member for 4 months. Thank you so much, Bedouin. That's so awesome. Yarman. Yarman. Growling Yarm. But why, Yarm? I love you. But why, though? Okay. Okay. Jeez. He almost bit me. Yarman, why you like that, Yarm? I don't really know why he does that or why he's like that. But thank you so much, Bedouin, for being a member for 4 months. Amazing. How's everybody doing? Yes, I was disappointed by Elijah too, as well as yeah, it's crazy how they let that happen. They didn't even say anything, bro. That was so crazy. Oh, him, look at him. Jacket. Oh, him. My little sweet little dragon. My sweet little Ow. I love you so much. I love you too, Melvin, even though you keep trying to bite me. I know, and the thing that sucked about it too, I was really disappointed about Elijah Menley's loss too. And what's so disappointing about it was that there was no consolidation, right? Like there should have been some consolidation around him or a single candidate instead of letting Debbie Wasserman Schultz win. Like it's crazy. It's crazy how like No, I know. Debbie Wasserman Schultz, the thing that makes what Debbie Wasserman Schultz did also so diabolical is that she wasn't even in that district. She got redistricted out of her own. And then when it wasn't going to be able to run, she doesn't even live in that district. And then decided that she was going to run in a black district, a district in which she had no connections to. And no one said anything. It actually is crazy. Like, it's actually crazy. But you're right. It was not all bad, fam. It was not all bad. Thank you for the super chat, Boney. I'm still heartbroken at Hating's passings. I rewatched Heroes a few weeks ago. I couldn't save the cheerleaders of the world's effed. I know, it's really sad. It's really, really sad. And like, I don't want to like be a conspiracy theorist or whatever, but there's definitely some things that were surrounding her passing that were sus. I hope that there's like an investigation of it because there's definitely some things around it that I thought were sus. And it's just really sad. It's so, you know what I thought was sad, to talk about this for just a second? Thank you so much for throwing that up, Boney. You can support me by tipping me on Venmo, tipping me on Cash App, becoming a monthly patron or a Ko-Fi member. All of this stuff is linked in the description. Also by becoming a member on YouTube or Twitch, and also giving super chats during this stream, which I set super chat goals for every stream because it helps the channel. It helps me. So if you can help me get to the super chat goal, that would be great. If not, no worries. Other good ways to help the channel is to just like the stream, share the stream, subscribe to the channel, this in both channels. Boney also threw up my link tree, which thank you. All of my stuff is in there. Same Upscrolled. Follow me on Upscrolled. And also another way to help if you want to help my content, but you don't have the finances to do so, is just watching my content all the way through when I post it. Because you know what makes me sad? You know what sucks? Is putting all the work into my content that I do. And I put a lot of work into it. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. Okay. Not that I'm like complaining or anything, but like it does take a lot of time and effort to make this content, to post this content, like all that shit, right? And then I see this, and then I see this. Sad. Sad. Down half. This video did very poorly. Very poorly. Down thousands of views. So I did all that work. All that work. Sad. Sad. So anyway, if you want to help my channel and my content, a great way to help that doesn't cost anything is to just watch the video and interact with it, because they count that a lot. And watch time, as you can see, is something that they pay a lot of attention to. Woo! I don't know what just happened. But yeah, so that's a great way to help if you want to. Thank you, Bodhi. Thank you. Exactly. Costs nothing, helps the channel. It's just such a bummer. Like, I'm not trying to be a complaining little bitch or anything, but it is just such a bummer when you make content and you put a lot of work into it and then no one watches it. I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to talk about that today. This was so embarrassing. This was so embarrassing. They're still doing it. I saw a clip of them doing it today. It's so embarrassing. Oh my gosh. I know you do, Dawn. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, but the Dow right now. The Dow right now.
The Dow right now is over.
Why is it so low? Did you?
Did you?
Brandon's watching it. Dawn watched it. Did you?
Did you?
I know, they're so good. They're so good. Yeah, so we're gonna make fun of a lot of, hey, greetings from Taiwan. Hello, welcome. We're gonna watch and make fun of some of the media responses, and also give a good shout out to Angie Nixon, who did a really great job and won the Senate race in Florida, which is incredibly impressive. So naturally, they didn't ask her about that. So naturally, they didn't ask her about any of that. They just asked her about HASAN PIKER, because of course. Because of course. No, it's so embarrassing, you guys. It's so embarrassing. I literally can't. It is. It's the new but do you condemn Hamas? It's but do you condemn HASAN PIKER? But like, also what's so embarrassing about it, is that it's like, you don't have any of this energy for Jigsaw, for any of the right-wing fascists. You never had this energy for Charlie Kirk, but you have this energy for HASAN PIKER. Like, it's so fucking embarrassing. It's so unserious. They're such hacks. Okay, let's watch Gayle King first. I pretty much already did go through my little spiel I always go through, but if you're not, before we watch the video, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, as well as all my other social media. Thank you. And everybody say shout out to Boney, my amazing mod. Everyone say shout out to Boney. And also shout out to all my members and my patrons and my Ko-Fis and my Twitch subscribers. Love you guys. Thank you. Yes. They, them are my pronouns. And also in my handle right here, as you can see. Okay. Also, after, if we get time, we might be able to talk about the quote-unquote Democrats for Mike Rogers and how they're circulating a letter, this group encouraging Jewish people in Michigan not to vote for Abdul El-Sayed, and not just to sit it out, but to vote for Mike Rogers. Yeah. You know what's funny is that none of them have this energy for these people, but they had this energy for the uncommitted movement. Yeah, just don't forget about that. So these people saying, we're not going to vote for HASAN PIKER, or for HASAN PIKER, oh my gosh, because they just won't stop talking about it. So now the name was like, and Abdul El-Sayed, they keep, trying to conflate it. I love you. Why do you growl at me, Hal? But I love you, Hal. I don't know why you growl, Hal. All right, fine. If you're going to growl, then why should I let you up? Why should I let you up if you're just going to growl at me? Then no. Now he's all pathetic. Bugger! Okay. Fine, but be good. Okay. So, yeah, for real. So, I just want to remind everybody how full of shit these people are, because when the uncommitted movement, who were not voting for Trump, they were just saying they were withholding their vote under trying to get Kamala Harris to move her position on Gaza because of the genocide. All the Democrats shit on them constantly and blame them for the election loss. Blame them for basically their own family's annihilation. But none of these blue MAGA libs, none of these libs, none of the Democrats, none of the media have any of this smoke for these people who are affirmatively saying they're going to vote for Mike Rogers. They're affirmatively saying they're going to vote for Mike Rogers over Abdul El-Sayed. Where's the energy? Where none of that energy that you had for the uncommitted movement? On top of that, yeah, uncommitted being the operative word. They said they were uncommitted. Uncommitted being the operative word. They said we are uncommitted to this vote. These people are saying, this group is saying, no, we're not just Democrats for Mike Rogers Lamau. No. This group is not just saying, we're gonna. Why, hello. This group is not just saying we're going to vote for Mike Rogers or we're going to be uncommitted. They're literally affirmatively saying we're going to vote for Mike Rogers. Democrats for Mike Rogers. Like, again, uncommitted was uncommitted. They're saying, no, we want to vote for this fascist right-wing Republican. In fucking embarrassing. On top of that, again, where's the smoke? Where is it? Where's the energy that all of you blue MAGA hoes and all of you content creators and all of you bitches who tweet all the time about how Kamala Harris, you needed to vote for her despite the genocide because la 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 Trump, but you don't have anything to say about this? Weird. It's almost like you're on someone's payroll. It's almost like you're on someone's payroll because it seems a little sus that when it was on the uncommitted movement, you attacked them relentlessly, and these were people whose families were victims of genocide, but you were still attacking them relentlessly. People whose families were victims of genocide. But this group, Democrats against Mike Rogers, and the Jewish groups that are circulating letters saying that people should vote for Mike Rogers over him rather than even just sitting the election out, you have no problem with. You have no problem with. You have nothing to say. You have nothing to say. That's so weird. And their reason is that he's Muslim. See, the Palestinians and the Arabs and the Lebanese people who had family that were getting obliterated had a reason to want to do the uncommitted movement because their families were victims of genocide, and Kamala Harris was promising more of it. But then these people, Democrats against Mike Rogers, and the Jewish groups that are circulating these letters saying people shouldn't vote for them, when you ask them why wouldn't you vote for Abdul El Sayed? Why? It's just because he's Muslim. They're not doing uncommitted because something terrible is happening, like something terrible was happening to Palestinian families and Lebanese families. No, they just don't want to vote for him because they're Islamophobic, because they're racist. And this guy all but admits it, not him, but the one who used to work for Biden. He basically is like something 9/11, as if Abdul El Sayed had anything to do with that.
I'm Rabbi Asha Lopatin from Huntington Woods. I usually vote Democrat, but I'm going to be voting for Mike Rogers. And I want to start out by saying, off script, that he's an incredible man. And the number one reason to vote for him, his policies, but who he is as a character, as a person, as a caring.
He's literally a monster. We're gonna watch who Mike Rogers actually is in a minute.
Sensitive man. I'm voting for him. On the other hand, and I'm sad to say this, that Abdul Al Sayed has made one thing very clear. We cannot let him anywhere near the U.S. Senate. Sadly, tragically, he's shown contempt for the Jewish community and, frankly, for American values.
That's a lie. That's literally a lie. They do that too because they want to bring in Americans to try to get Americans to hate them too, to hate Muslims too. When they go, exactly. But like when he's like, sadly, American values, it's like, what American values is he against? No. It's that you're mad. Again, when they say Jewish people, he's lying, okay? It's not about Jewish people. It's about Israel. It's about them wanting to defend Israel. And they want people to have buy-in in that. And they want people to defend what they're saying. So they do the routine of, oh, he's also anti-American, so Americans will get on board with this horse shit too. It's fucking disgusting, bro. It's so racist. This is just rank anti-Muslim bigotry and racism. Let's just be clear about that.
By making HASAN PIKER a vicious anti-Semite and racist, his campaign surrogate, and someone he buddies up with before the primary and after the.
By the way, for those who aren't really that familiar with HASAN PIKER, which I don't know how you couldn't be at this point if you pay attention to politics, since it's all these assholes talk about, HASAN PIKER is anti-racist. HASAN PIKER is anti-Nazi, anti-racist, pro-Palestine, also pro-Jewish. Being anti-Zionist is being anti-supremacy. That's good, actually. But they're calling him a vicious anti-Semite. Like, make it fucking make sense, bro. Make it make sense.
The primary. He's never.
And again, they're lying because they know that he's not anti-Semitic. What they mean is he doesn't support Israel, the state, the nation state, the apartheid regime that's committing genocide and ethnic cleansing. That's what he doesn't support. And they know that. They're just lying. Thank you for the chili. Thank you. Like, it's actually so disgusting.
Disavowed Hassan's anti-Semitism, man who's called Orthodox Jews like me inbred. When Abdul Assaid was asked about the terrorist,
it's not Abdul. He's calling him Abdul. But second of all, that is again another lie. He calls right-wingers inbred all the time. They're trying to make it seem like that he was targeting them and it was anti-Semitic, like he was targeting Jewish people, calling them inbred. That is not what he said. He called right-wing people inbred who happen to be Orthodox, but they're right-wing. He calls right-wingers inbred and hogs all the time of all different faiths and ethnicities. This is so bad faith. It's so bad faith. Yeah, and he calls MAGA inbred all the time too. You mean the terror proxy, the settler terror proxies that literally killed an American and then refused to let an ambulance get to him and his brother had to watch him die. You mean those people? But we should be more considerate of the people who are killing American citizens, these terrorists in the occupied West Bank. We should be a little bit more considerate of their feelings, right?
who attempted to blow up a synagogue right here in Michigan with hundreds of children, like Thaler, hundreds of children. All he said, hurt people, hurt people.
You know what's amazing? It's amazing how they're really willing to side with fascists because they hate Arabs that much. Like, these people are so racist and so Islamophobic that they literally are going to vote for a fascist, a right-wing extremist MAGA Republican like Mike Rogers, because that's how much they hate Arabs and Muslims.
Oh. Sadly, Abdul al-Sayed has shown only contempt for Jews as a people.
Lies.
And called my people bloodthirsty.
Lies.
And the reason Michigan, our great state of Michigan, doesn't have the funds it needs. So sadly, Abdul al-Sayed is completely unfit to represent.
They're just fucking lying, bro. They're just lying. They conflate every criticism that Hasan Piker has of Israel, the government, the fucking state, and he claims that he's saying that about Jewish people. Lies. Lies.
Any piece of Michigan, the Jewish community, the African American community, the Chaldean, or even Arab Americans. So as someone who votes Democrat usually.
Not him pretending to care about Chaldeans and black people. LOL.
I am proud this time to support
proud?
Mike Rogers, and I encourage everyone to do so as well. Thank you.
Yikes. Okay, let's check in on Mike Rogers, okay? It's just so fucking, the hackery is just so next level. Oh, I don't know if I saved it. How embarrassing. Imagine defending a Republican on the basis of health care. LOL. People are already losing their health care. Republicans are against health care. They're against the Affordable Care Act. They're against people having insurance, period. But they're really going to try to run this play to say that because Abdul al-Sayed wants everyone to have health care, they're really going to run with, oh, if you vote for him, you'll lose your health care. Bro, that's bold. That is bold. All this meanwhile, while Michigan is dealing with a disgusting amount of Islamophobia and anti-Arab hate, as that Mossad op Cenk Lang goes there to incite hate against them, goes to Dearborn to incite hate against them. All right, so let's talk about Mike Rogers. Let's check in.
Bush and his administration. And I credit George Bush and his administration for assembling this new intelligence community. They passed the Patriot bill that allows and takes the handcuffs off our intelligence services. Policymakers back here use words like illegal wiretap.
The domestic surveillance program of the NSA. It could be abused.
We're already seeing pressure on the Patriot Act that maybe we don't.
I just love that, like, no one defends the Patriot Act because everybody knows how horrific it is. But apparently this guy thinks the Patriot Act is great.
Don't need it now. Couldn't be further from the truth. The bulk telephone metadata program is legal and effective. Provisions of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act expire at the end of this month. We need to rapidly reauthorize these provisions, and we need to work toward making these tools permanent as a part of our arsenal. Self-restriction, big problem in U.S. intelligence collection. We're the only intelligence service in the world that is forced to go to a court. We always joked in the intelligence space, we would love to get 1/10 of what Google has on you.
I supported these programs when they were classified, and I support these programs today.
Wait, Justin Amash is running for Senate? I didn't even know that. Is he running as like an independent? Because the primary already happened, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, Justin Amash actually is an interesting character. He lost his primary because he stood up to Trump and voted for Trump's impeachment. He's also Palestinian and Armenian. I read that as Justin Smash, lol. No, he's not. He's not. No, he actually had family that was killed in Gaza at the beginning of the genocide in 2023. He's like a libertarian conservative. He honestly was one of the few conservatives in Congress that was actually like principled, so they got rid of him. Anytime, this is what I'm saying, like, anytime there is rarely a conservative in office that is principled and will actually, like, do the right thing, like Justin Amash or Thomas Massie, they get rid of them. Like, MAGA loves the corruption. They love the hackery. Like, it's unbelievable, the hackery. All right, so let's watch this really embarrassing. Wait, this really embarrassing interview. Democrats are, I talked about this last night in a video, a short that I made, that like Democrats are so bad at politics that yeah, everybody should be keeping their eyes on Turkey. Democrats are so bad at politics that they didn't even try to highlight the fact that U.S. service members have been trapped on the USS Lincoln for over 250 days. Amazing. Thanks for the jewels. Stay hydrated. Thank you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Heracles born. Abdul should do a Cuomo press conference type taunting like Mamdani did on these Zionist pressers. They were hysterical. True. True. Thank you for the super chats, you guys, and thank you for the jewels. So you guys saw too that Democrats were actually putting out statements defending Randy Swine on the day of the election. Yes, Don, it was. So apparently, and I made a video about this last night. Thank you for the Uncle alert. I made this last night that they've been trapped on the USS Abraham Lincoln for 250 days. The conditions are disgusting. They're so bad. People were literally jumping ship. And Democrats have not used it at all. It's just crazy how bad they are at politics. Hey, Milena. Okay, so Hakeem Jeffries literally put out, all insanely embarrassing, a statement condemning Dan Bilzerian the day of the primary. Thank you for the gold coin. I appreciate that, Iram. And here's the thing. Silence was an option. This is a Republican primary. You didn't have to say shit. But apparently their AIPAC handlers told them to because a bunch of Democrats, Hakeem Jeffries, Chantel Brown, I forget who the other person was. Might have been Henry Cuellar. Like a bunch of people in the House put out statements condemning Dan Bilzerian and defending Randy Swine, which, again, you could have just been quiet. Why are you meddling in a Republican primary anyway? And if you're going to condemn Dan Bilzerian, where the fuck is the condemnation of Randy Swine? Where the fuck is the condemnation of Randy Swine, who is a prolific racist? A prolific racist. Islamophobe, proud Islamophobe extraordinaire. Proud bigot. But you had nothing to say about him? You had nothing to say about him. But then again, this is the same Hakeem Jeffries that voted alongside Randy Swine to censure Rashida Tlaib for saying from the river to the sea, but didn't censure Randy Swine for saying that Muslims were like dogs, that dogs were better than Muslims. Tells you everything you need to know. They agree. But then here's Randy Swine being anti-Black when asked about the congressional candidate. Not congressional candidate, the Senate candidate, Angie Nixon, winning.
That she wants to abolish prison. She said that she brings her young children to drag shows.
She doesn't want to abolish prisons. She said private, for-profit prisons, but whatever. Of course, they lie.
I don't know. What does her victory tell you about where the Democratic Party is headed? And does putting a candidate like Nixon on the ballot make Republicans' job in Florida that much easier come November?
Yeah, look, one of the big winners last night was Ashley Moody, because I had the distinct displeasure of having to serve with Angie Nixon when I was in the Florida House. And she's a uniquely unintelligent person. I mean, I don't say that to be mean. I can't run very fast. I mean, these are just things that we have as attributes. And the things that she believes are just moronic, including, by the way, she's an open Jew hater. She advanced legislation in the Florida House to support Hamas. And so, I mean.
And because these people are such disgusting, despicable liars, thank you for the flower, Iram. And because these people are just such despicable liars, they, of course, he said, advanced legislation to support Hamas. Oh, I'm sorry. Did we give money, our country? Did Florida give money to Hamas? Weird. I didn't know that. No. Of course, this sack of shit is lying. What he means is she advanced legislation for a ceasefire to stop the slaughter in Gaza. She advanced legislation for a ceasefire to stop the slaughter in Gaza. That's what he means. And I love how he's crying, calling her anti-Semitic. This guy is racist as fuck. Not only, again, is this guy openly and proudly Islamophobic, he is so anti-Black too. He constantly calls Black people stupid, which for those of you maybe who aren't American, when people go out of their way to call Black people uniquely stupid, and that's not to say that like a person who is involved in politics or whatever, somebody you don't like, can never call someone dumb who happens to be Black. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there is an old trope that goes back hundreds of years to Jim Crow and slavery in this country, where Black people were treated as uniquely stupid, where there were not memes, minstrel shows about where Black people were depicted as uniquely dumb, like below human level intelligence. So him choosing to call her uniquely unintelligent was explicitly anti-Black. And this is the guy that Hakeem Jeffries was defending. This is the swine that Hakeem Jeffries was defending. No, of course, she's incredibly smart. She ran an excellent campaign. He's just racist. But, like, no one says anything about that, weirdly enough. This is how you know that all those, like, blue MAGA influencers that are on Twitter and stuff, that they're all on the same payroll. Because why aren't they condemning them? Don't you guys think that's weird? For real. No one thinks it's weird that even the like K-Hive people aren't condemning him. All the allegedly pro-Black K-Hive people. Where you guys at? Awfully quiet. It's almost like you guys are probably on Israel's payroll, the Israeli lobby's payroll. Just absolutely disgusting. Just absolutely vile.
She's just not smart, and so she defaults to a lot of these ridiculous socialist and communist views. Ashley will clean the clock with her. If the Democrats in Washington spend a nickel on that Senate race, I will be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this girl with her really bad orange tan and overly bleached teeth. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is a joke. It's just unreal, you guys. So that's who Hakeem Jeffries was defending. And yet, we're being told that that he should be the Speaker of the House. That he should be the Speaker of the House. Unserious. So unserious. The whole thing is just so unserious. Meanwhile, there's evil in this world, I'll fight it every day, and somebody retweeted him. Yeah, this is the kind of shit he says. This is who Hakeem Jeffries defended. Hey, Kat. Just disgusting swine. He's just viciously racist, viciously Islamophobic. So the question is, why was Hakeem Jeffries defending this filth? And why are the pro-Black, supposedly, K-Hive influencers not defending Angie Craig and calling him out? Curious. Okay, and then we're gonna watch the Gayle King where it's actually so embarrassing. Barry Weiss's CBS, where Gayle King is relentlessly asking her about Hasan Piker as if this has anything to do with her win. And they even have like the B-roll queued up. It's actually so embarrassing.
You've campaigned with Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, Mr. Piker.
Concerns, and so that's what my focus is.
With Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, Mr. Piker, do you want to see them on the campaign trail with you as well?
So I have not campaigned with Mr. Piker. Not sure where that information came from. I have campaigned with Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, and so she is someone who wants the same things that I want, to make sure that government is working for people and not against it. And so I'll continue to do the same thing. But I have not campaigned with Mr. Piker at all. Not sure where that came from.
All right, my apologies. I thought that you had. My apologies about that. Would you
Barry
want him
Weiss
to
told me to
campaign
ask.
with you?
I don't really know who Mr. Piker is. I've heard about him, and so
You don't know who he is?
I said I don't really know who he is personally or anything like that. I am actually focused on Florida and making sure that I'm talking to voters here to uplift their needs and their concerns. And so that's what my focus is going to be over the next 76 days.
You've campaigned with Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, Mr. Piker. Do you want to see them on the campaign trail with you as well?
So I have not campaigned with Mr. Piker. Not sure where that information came from. I have campaigned with Congresswoman.
No, it's amazing. It's amazing. And then this was today. This was literally today.
Al Said, should Al Said separate from him?
I think that when it comes to Hasan Piker and Abdul, there doesn't need to be a disavowal. I think that's fruitless, and I think it's just conceding to these right-wing frameworks. I genuinely think that Donald Trump surrounds himself with people that are just as like radical as Hasan Piker on a daily basis. The way that Stephen Miller is always screaming and frothing at the mouth on Fox News every single week.
And even that, like, I don't even like the way he framed that. He said people who are just as radical as Hasan Piker. What the fuck do you mean? Hasan Piker is not radical at all. No, Stephen Miller is a Nazi. Laura Loomer is a Nazi. These people are psychotic. They're fucking deranged. So to say as radical, like, there's no comparison. There's no comparison. Where he is right, though, and I agree, is that for them to disavow Hasan Piker, especially in light of the fact that these people pal around with fascists like Randy Fine, they pal around with fascists like Laura Loomer, they pal around with fascists and employ them like Stephen Miller. Why would you condemn anybody? So you're going to not only cede to their framing, you're going to cede to their bad faith right-wing talking points in their right-wing framing, but then you're also going to let the actual fascists that they have in their orbit off the hook. That's what condemning Hasan Piker would do. You're not only ceding and saying, giving in to right-wing fascist framing, to right-wing fascist Republican framing, but by doing this, you are also saying that Hasan Piker is extreme, but Laura Loomer, Randy Swine, Stephen Miller, Pete Hegseth, all of these right-wing extremists that are in the cabinet, Mark Levin, who's a total psycho, that they're not. They're not beyond the pale. They're not extreme at all. They don't even need to be condemned or distanced. It's absurd. It's absurd. And the fact that our media won't stop talking about this is so telling. It is so telling. Liberal media, my fucking ass cheeks. All of our media, including so-called liberal media, is right-wing and Zionist. Because why are they even asking these bullshit questions? Why are they even asking these bullshit questions? Why are they even asking these absurd questions? It tells you everything you need to know about how our right wing, and how lunatic Zionist and extreme our liberal media is. Fucking ridiculous.
I mean, Donald Trump surrounds himself in campaigns with many extremist radical people. The Republican Party is like uniting around Max Miller after he allegedly broke his 2-year-old collarbone. I'm not trying to compare any of that to HASAN
Yeah,
Piker.
it doesn't really
but
matter.
I'm just saying that the Republican Party holds themselves to one standard and then holds
Well.
Abdul al-Sayed to this impossibly high guilt by association standard. No, we shouldn't disavow it. Keep campaigning, keep moving forward, keep laser focus on Mike Rogers. I'd say that's my framework.
That's your framework. Should al-Sayed
This is a
separate from him?
After Jared Moskowitz won his primary the other day, which, that was depressing. Oliver Larkin is incredibly talented. I wish that he would have won. He definitely has a great future. He should be doing something in the movement, in politics. Same with Elijah Manley. They're both very talented. Florida is a hard state. It's a hard state to win, which is why Angie Nixon's win is so fucking impressive. But I don't really like them either. I was just watching the clip because of the insane HASAN Piker ridiculousness. But yeah, I don't watch Midas Network. I don't watch any of those like Resistance Libs shows. Yeah, that too. I don't watch any of those like Resistance Libs channels because literally all of them not only ignored Gaza, ignored the genocide, but then on top of that, again, they are constantly giving into right-wing frameworks and right-wing talking points while they shit on the left constantly for helping the Republicans and not helping the Democrats enough. And then they work overtime to help the Republicans. Like, it's insanity. Yeah, she won by 12 points. It was incredibly impressive. Not a small win. Thanks for the hiding. I like that profile picture too. It's not that I have like a specific problem with them. And I don't really have a problem with this Adam Buckle guy too. I'm just like I'm not shitting on them. I'm not saying like I hate them or anything. I'm just saying that like for me, I don't really have an interest in watching them because they're not representing the kind of politics that and the advancement that I care about. I don't think like he's the worst person or whatever, but like I just don't watch them because they're not representing the interests of things that I care about. So after Jared Moskowitz won, which sad, he's such a hack. I hope he gets primaried again. So after either primaried again, or it would be funny if he lost the general because he was trying to be all cute and be like, condolences to HASAN Piker. Because again, he's apparently obsessed with HASAN Piker too.
Folks, it's true. He is. Rick caught his ass, dude. I hate Rick Scott and I love Jared Moskowitz. He's constantly in my DMs. Of course, I've endorsed him. I'm very excited. He's my best friend. He seemingly talks about me all the time. It's funny. It's this like silly back and forth game that we play, you know, where he goes on television and it's like, that's so Jared. That's so Jared. It's classic. We're besties. No, he gets his notes. See, I told him, listen, in order to do the communist revolution in Florida 25, if you need to yell about me in the general election, you can go right ahead. But once you win, we're implementing full Sharia communism. Yeah. Clip it and ship it, boys. It's real.
That's just crazy. Because literally he went on Fox to talk about it. Like, how embarrassing. Like, actually, how embarrassing. Oh my gosh. And I can't with the Republicans pretending to care about the dead. No, I literally can't. These motherfuckers blow the fucking dead out. Literally all the time. Anytime they can, they blow it out. And then they actually have the nerve to go, we really got to do something about this $40 trillion worth of debt. We're trying to find the guy who did this. Like, I know. It's so embarrassing. Okay, and then I like this clip of Kyle Kalinske talking about Angie Craig. Whoops. Sorry, guys. I forgot to mute this when I'm doing my, oh my gosh, it wasn't playing. It wasn't playing, was it? Was it playing? No?
Like a stage 5 meltdown. Love how Morning Joe was just smearing Hasan Piker and Abdul by extension, having like a stage 5 meltdown. But now Angie Nixon, who has the same politics or even further left politics than Abdul, right? Who's also loved by Hasan. Now all of a sudden she's okay, even though she has the exact same beliefs. The lack of consistency is absolutely insane. Here she talks about how she's always fought back and always found a way to win in politics.
And I also want to be clear. I've unseated incumbents before. I've been outspent 5-1. And I did that while I was 9 months pregnant with COVID. Y'all, I'm not 9 months pregnant anymore, and I definitely don't have COVID. So y'all know I'm going to work hard as I can. And that is how I'm going to win. And that is how
she's winning them over. She's winning them over. Look at Morning Joe with that smile from ear to ear. She's winning them over, and she's a democratic socialist.
I know that Ashley Moody will be calling me senator in November.
Ooh, okay. Okay. I love how Morning Joe was just smearing Hasan Piker.
Yeah, I thought I put it up. I hate when I do that. I hate when I do that. I hate when I think I have a clip up and I don't. Let's see what she has to say on this.
addressing some of the root causes of people leading into a life of.
She supports defunding the police, and then here is her response.
So you don't support defunding the police?
No, I don't support defunding the police. I do support comprehensive criminal justice reform to make sure we are addressing some of the root causes of people leading into a life of crime.
Look, I love that answer. As I told you guys on this show, and any left-wing candidate is more than welcome to steal this, okay? But I think the best response is we're not going to abolish prisons. We're not going to defund the police because we need them to arrest Donald Trump and Elon Musk. We need them to arrest Pete Hegseth. We need them to arrest Stephen Miller, okay? I'm a law and order leftist. I want to lock up the war criminals. I want to lock up the white-collar fraudsters. I want to lock up the Wall Street criminals. I want to lock up the ICE Gestapo thugs. This is what you argue. You flip it back on them and make it seem like, oh, actually, we're the tougher ones on crime, as you guys are on a historic.
And to make it seem like they're more reasonable, but also you can still defund the police without even saying it. Because I think that a lot of people should, there's a lot of money that is just slopped to the police that should be defunded, right? But because of the toxicity that is now associated with it, they should just take a playbook, a sheet from the Republican playbook and just do it anyway and not say anything. That's what Republicans do all the time. Republicans literally defund shit all the time. They defund Medicaid. They defund education. They are trying to destroy the Department of Education. They literally defund things for regular people constantly. And they just do it. Right, but since they're so bad faith at this point, because we know that that's the argument, and that is the correct argument, that you want to defund the police because you want to use that money for people and resources of things that actually need it. But because of the fact that, and I think it's fine if people still say it, but because of the fact that so many people associate it now with getting rid of any law enforcement, and apparently people don't want to have to defund the police, they should just do it anyway. Because to be clear, I never was on the abolish the police train or prisons. I don't think that is what we should be doing. I think that funds should be reallocated to people that actually need it and things that actually need it and things that are actually like going to help the communities. And yes, I do think that there should be police in prisons, but like Kyle is saying here, it should be directed at the people who are actually criminals, like the Republicans in Trump's administration, including Trump. The reason why they've been able to get away with so much of the fear mongering is because they try to tell people that means that no one is going to be able to help you if you get attacked, if you need to call the police for some reason. Like, they're trying to tell you there's going to be nothing. Right, because, hey, Brandon, again. But then also, like, what's ridiculous about it is that, well, they should pick a struggle because they're going to need to pick one. They're either going to need to go back to saying defund the police and defend it rigorously because they didn't defend it. They didn't defend it. They didn't defend what they meant by defund the police, right? But if they're not going to rigorously defend it, then they need to start using a different term and then just defund it anyway. They can say reform while defunding it. You know what I mean? Republicans literally do it all the fucking time. No, what we should actually be defunding when they say that, we should be like, how come you guys never talk about defunding the Pentagon? You don't want to defund the Pentagon. You don't want to defund Israel. We should defund Israel too. The only reason why you would say something this stupid is because you don't understand how much we actually do fund the police and how the money is being spent. Because you guys only care about policing the finances of the poor. That's all you guys care about. You only care about policing the finances of the poor. If a poor person, it's like the meme of Bart Simpson where he's like looking really closely and then the one where he's like blind. It's like that's how so many people are in this country, so many right-wingers and even people who wouldn't call themselves right-wingers. When it comes to things like defunding or taking money away from poor people or managing their money, it's all, we got to look into welfare. Where are they spending the money? Are they buying junk food at Walmart? But then when it comes to things like the police, they're like, oh, yeah, sure. You can spend $2 million on like some bullshit robot. Sure. Sure. Like, have any of you actually asked when people talk about police funding where the money is going? No, of course you don't. Just like the Pentagon, you guys don't care where the money's going. It only if it's like a poor person you can target that you're like, where's your money going? You want to look through their finances. But then when it comes to bloated police budgets or bloated military budgets, you're like, no, more. I don't care where it's going.
Crime spree right now. But either way, I love that answer from Angie Nixon. All right, he supports defunding the police. And then here...
And yes, I actually think that there should be a lot of people jailed. They're just jailing the wrong people. All of these white-collar criminals should be in fucking prison. And if they were poor or regular people, they absolutely would be. No one believes that that Bill Gates' daughter is going to go to prison despite the fact that she was just caught committing a major fraud, allegedly, with her company. But nobody thinks she's going to go to prison because she's rich and powerful. No, those are the types of people that should be behind fucking bars. Exactly. And there's a lot of stupid shit that police funding goes to. That isn't even the cops. That isn't even the cops themselves. It's like our military. The people that actually work in the military, the soldiers, don't make that much money. It goes to private contractors and shit. Israel plans to erase the two-state solution, which wasn't a thing anyway. But of course, now they're just saying it out loud. By the way, all the people that are smearing Hasan Piker and calling him anti-Semitic, this is what he said when asked about it. Again, the insane false equivalencies between somebody like Hasan Piker and the actual fascists on the right that they have no problem with. They have no problem with Laura Loomer. They have no problem with Rady Swine. But they call him an extremist. They call him an extremist. It's like, I don't want to hear any of you full of shit people talk about some, oh, we're concerned about hate and bigotry as you prop up Rady Swine and Laura Loomer. You're really going to lecture people? You're really going to lecture people about hate and bigotry and then prop up Laura Loomer and Rady Swine? It's just so unserious.
America deserved 9/11. You've withdrawn that comment, I believe.
Yeah, I said it in 2019, and
you know, if you listen to the full conversation, you very quickly understand what I'm talking about.
You're talking about foreign policy blowback.
Yeah, we're talking about foreign policy blowback.
But you could have phrased it better, because it sounds like you're saying people deserve to die.
Of course,
we don't believe that.
Again, in 2019, and then immediately I'm you know, all over Fox News and getting, you know, an unbelievable amount of death threats. I'm a big boy; I can handle it. It is what it is. But I you know, went on the Young Turks and famously was like, I should have phrased things better. I apologize for those who I've offended, and I most importantly apologize for giving an opportunity to the right to just like use this
So this
against
is a 7-year-old clip that you've already explained disowned. I have the same issue. There are clips of me that I've had to talk about.
Yeah.
Jewish people calling Orthodox Jewish people inbreds.
Yeah,
is the
yeah,
one
yeah.
you and I texted back and forth many times. 'Cause I was like, why would you say this?
I have a policy of using pejoratives when describing any kind of like ethno-racial supremacist groups.
So you call a lot of people inbreds.
I have an entire compilation of it out there somewhere of
But
just
do you regret doing this content because you gave a weapon to people to say?
Well, that one
clearly sounds anti-Semitic.
yeah, no, I know, but that one is like super disingenuous because like there's another one that they were like pig dog, where they're like pig dog is anti-Semitic. It wasn't even in the anti-Semitism glossary until they decided it was actually anti-Semitic. Did you know that?
I did not know.
Yeah, exactly. Most people don't even know that that's supposed to be an anti-Semitic term. It's not.
So you're just a guy who likes to call people out with incendiary rhetoric, and occasionally it happens to be people who are Jewish, and therefore you're not targeting them because they're Jewish.
No, of course not. And everyone can see that, especially considering that.
No, but you say everyone can see that. Just serious point. Everyone can't see that. We live in a clip world, right?
Everyone.
So good faith people who might like your politics and like what you do, and then they go, "Oh man, but he said this is a clip. You're saying Orthodox Jewish people are inbred. That's anti-Semitic."
Well, I didn't say Orthodox Jews are inbred. I'm talking about I'm talking specifically about settlers. I'm talking specifically about like people that are joining the Israeli military to go invade Lebanon. It's not about
you wouldn't use that language now. Let me ask you that question.
I still definitely utilize the term inbred quite frequently when talking about religious and ethno-supremacist groups, but with the exception of anything that touches Israel, because I don't want people to just like keep weaponizing that against me.
And they are weaponizing, and it's not just
but it is a double standard, 100%.
100%.
Because
I agree with you on double
I've called Republicans inbred hicks my whole life. I call Nazis inbred. I call them pigs. You know, all these different things. I've gotten banned for this. I said Zionist pigs. I got banned for that. Why did I get banned for that? Because the ADL went to Twitch, went to Amazon, and made Zionism a protected identity on the platform, specifically to get me banned.
Okay, my problem with him saying that he doesn't use it anymore regarding Israel because he doesn't want them weaponizing it is that they're going to weaponize it anyway. So why are you giving them special treatment? That actually doesn't help. So I totally disagree with him on that he would stop saying it because regarding the Israeli regime, because he doesn't want them weaponizing it. They are going to weaponize it anyway. It doesn't matter. So why are you now giving them special treatment?
Classic one they throw you. America deserved 9/11.
Homer, Ömer, born outside of Izmir, also Turkish. Just some facts, okay? Just some facts for you guys to comprehend, to understand.
Oh, there was another.
He's a Nepo baby limousine socialist who makes millions streaming. He lives in a nearly $3 million house. He got rich off capitalism. Now he's railing against capitalism. HASAN PIKER.
This is a really stupid argument, but they really do think it's a banger. They really do think it's a banger. They'll be like, you got rich off this system. So, why are you railing against it? But this was right after you called him a Nepo baby. So really, you're saying he got rich off capitalism, but then you're also saying that he's a Nepo baby, which would not be getting rich off capitalism. It would be getting rich off an inheritance, which would be like plutocracy. This doesn't even make sense. So he's a Nepo baby, which would make him, again, like in the plutocrat class, which would him be getting rich off of his family inheritance or his inherited name. But then you're also saying that he got rich off of the hard work of capitalism. No, I didn't see that, but I did see the deranged Tommy Lauren one. Did you guys see that? Hey, Johan, long time no see. Did you guys see the insane, lol? Did you guys see the insane of Tommy Lauren losing her shit over the bike helmet? I know I already made a video about it, but I bet most of you guys didn't see it anyway, so we can watch it. No, it's so hilarious. Bless me. It's hilarious. It's so demented. Like, it's actually embarrassing. Like, how are you not embarrassed by this?
Bike, because there's no free bus.
No, sorry. We have to watch this because it's so funny. It's so fucking demented.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's not parodied. Like, I don't know how you do this and you're not embarrassed. Busy with college stuff. Well, it's good to see you. No, it's so good. It's so good. So, just so everybody understands, this incoming meltdown that she's about to have, this, I'm surprised she didn't pull her back out from the amount of stretches she did, the amount of grasping at straws she attempted to do. This entire meltdown is about Zohran Mamdani saying that he heard the criticism of him not wearing a helmet, and so he's going to start wearing a helmet when he rides a bike. That's it. That's what it's about. Him wearing a helmet, riding a bike. That's it. In fact, just so you get what an insane segment this is, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to show you actually the video that they're reacting to. Because it's fucking crazy. And when you see her criticism, you're gonna be like, wait, that's what they're so mad about? Like, really? That's what they're so mad about? And the answer is yes, really. That's what they're so mad about. Thank you so much for the super chat, Ronan. Kogyasa? I don't know what that means. But thank you. It means long live. Oh. Cool. Thank you. You were really on top of that, Boney. You were literally so on top of it. You were like immediately knew as soon as I asked it. Totally. Okay, this is the video that they have a meltdown about.
You're right. I've got to do better. Safety first, New York. See you out there.
That's it. That's literally it. It's him responding, saying, I hear you, those of you who have criticized me for not wearing a helmet, and I'm going to start wearing a helmet. Oh, I know. His social media team is brilliant, which is why it's really funny when you pathetically see other Democrats trying to mimic it. Like, I saw this really cringe, embarrassing video of Gretchen Whitmer and what's his slime ball, Gavin Newsom, and they were like trying to copy his editing style. It was so lame. Okay, so that's what this meltdown is about, just so you guys know.
Well, I guess he needs the bike because there's no free bus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Communism with a smile. That's what all these influencers, they get elected to office. That's primarily how they get there, right? Because they can put a smile on socialism and communism and they can laugh off safety. And I think it's also insulting to the New Yorkers out there that are legitimately worried about their physical.
What's amazing is that he's not laughing it off. He's literally saying, I am listening to my constituents who are saying that they're bothered that I'm not wearing a helmet and I'm going to start going to. He's not laughing off safety. What a psycho.
About their physical safety, not because of lack of a bike helmet, but just because of the state of New York City and the safety problems that
she's like choking. Not just because of lack of a helmet, but because the safety of New York City. She's literally choking on her own rage.
Of the state of New York City and the safety problems that exist, especially.
Did you hear that, guys? Could you hear that? She literally is choking on her rage. Not just because of the safety of New York City. One more time.
Especially for Jewish New Yorkers. So the fact that he thinks safety, and I think it's also insulting to the New Yorkers out there that are legitimately worried about their physical safety, not because of lack of a bike helmet, but just because of the state of New York City and the safety problems that exist, especially for Jewish New Yorkers. So the fact that he thinks that all we need to do to keep New York City and New Yorkers safe is get Mamdani a bike helmet. I mean, he's laughing.
Especially for Jewish New Yorkers, which is totally no concern for every other New Yorker. No concern.
In the face of all the people that are legitimately scared.
Laughing in the face of all the people who are legitimately scared. No, it's amazing. It's amazing. The stretch, the grasping at straws.
Helmet. I mean, he's laughing in the face of all the people that are legitimately scared, all the people that are riding the subways, they're in the parks, they're worried about the homeless crisis, the drug crisis, you name it. And he puts on a bike helmet and does a TikTok video and he thinks he's solved everything. But Sean, this is the problem. There are so many people who are habitually online and they see a funny little video, they see a young man with a nice smile, and it's palatable to them. So beware of this. When
That's
AOC
scary.
runs for president in 2028, she's going to do the same.
She will do the same. And
It's scary. It's scary. The fact that he smiles. It's scary, Sean. He's like, yeah, it's scary. No, it's amazing. It's amazing. I actually saw that. Okay, I saw this on Tuesday night. It was the day of the election, you guys. And you know how like they have this thing on like YouTube TV where you can like watch multiple, they call it like multi-view or whatever. And you can basically move the clicker down and watch like a little bit of CNN or MS Now or whatever. And so I had all four of them on. Like I had like MS Now, and then I had CNN, and I had Fox because I wanted, you know, I'm watching the coverage of the election, which, by the way, I don't know if I could watch that while streaming, but if somebody can find out if I can, I would love to start streaming on election nights, like even primary nights. I would love to stream like during primary night so I could stream with you guys. But I don't know if I can stream those like cable shows. I don't know if I can, or even how I would do that. But anyway, I actually saw it at the time that it was happening, and I was like, how is this for real? How is this for real? It was just incredible. How are you not embarrassed? By the way, Angie Nixon won without the endorsement. Angie Nixon actually won the primary without getting the endorsement of either Bernie Sanders or AOC, which actually makes her win that much more impressive. Okay, what was the other one I was going to watch? Yeah, with the help and the fucking endorsement, basically, of Hakeem Jeffries. What's going on here, by the way? A 35-year-old Israeli arrested in Greece for allegedly causing a wildfire in Crete. That's weird. Isn't that like the third time that's happened? And it also happened in Argentina. Oh, does anybody have the clip of Fox News melting down over Zoran speaking Mandarin? Gonna sneeze again. Wait, hold on. I think... No, I think that this is just the link to... I think this is just the link to his. Where is the link to, like... No, I think this is just the link to his. I want the link to the one of Fox News melting down about it. Anyone have that one? I thought there was allegedly already a ceasefire. I just saw this clip that says, wait. The entire UN raises its hand for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza, except for one country. Now, I don't exactly know when this was, but I thought there allegedly was already a ceasefire in Gaza. They've been saying that there was a ceasefire in Gaza since last October. So what are we voting on? Oh, thank you, Boney and Johan. Got it.
The commies just found the Rosetta Stone.
你好，我的名字是 Mayor Zoran Mamdani。我不知道中文，可是我想试一下。 了解如何参加抽签，您还可以免费获得 the Theater Development Fund.
Mamdani speaking the language of the revolution, Mandarin Chinese. And just like the chairman, he's sending in the Red Guards to purge the productive class. The commies just found the Rosetta Stone.
你好，我的名字是 Mayor Zoran Mamdani.
First of all, this guy is fucking deranged. Have you guys seen some of his clips? I wasn't watching his the other night. I was watching the election results, but like I was telling you guys, because I had the multi-view up, I could kind of, even though it was muted, I couldn't hear it. I could see like what he was covering, and it was so psychotic. Oh, it was so psychotic. Wait.
Something is wrong with this woman, and I can't believe it. And I don't know if this lady is Chinese, Japanese, or crazy knees. Something is wrong with this woman.
This was back before they dumped this guy. Crazy knees. Yeah, this is back in 2018 during the first Trump administration. Before they knocked this guy off, didn't care about him anymore. He's old news.
Cool, because he beat the machine. You gotta.
Wait, where is it? No, they're all talking about John Ossoff. I was looking for the clip. Was it? It was about the Florida Senate race, but it might have been about Zoran too.
Now, James, and right now, I mean, the mayor, he. Not gonna find.
我的名字是 Mayor Zoran Mamdani. 我不知道中文，可是我想试一下。
Commies are talking dirty to China. The commies just found the Rosetta Stone.
你好，我的名字是 Mayor Zoran Mamdani. 我不知道中文，可是我想试一下，了解如何参加抽签。您还可以免费获得 the Theater Development Fund.
Mamdani speaking the language of the revolution.
Jesse Waters never clarified what that clip was actually about. That was New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani announcing a promotion that will help students get free Broadway theater tickets. And he called it the language of the revolution, which is kind of ridiculous because I don't think the people who live in Taiwan would think that. They also speak.
What's so crazy is how he pretends. Oh my gosh, this one's so embarrassing too. Listen to this right-wing nonsense.
Number 2, you slash immigration.
This is how the right wing talks about healthcare. Next time you want to see some dumbass say, oh, we're really concerned about healthcare, and like the person who was pretending to care about healthcare regarding Mike Rogers. Oh, if Abdul El Sayed wins, he's going to take away your healthcare. If Abdul El Sayed wins, he's going to take away your healthcare. No, he's not. He wants Medicare for all. But what Jesse Waters says here is literally what all Republicans think about healthcare, which is, fuck you, pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
So I have my own plan for healthcare. It's called the Waters Plan. Number one, the Somali pirates, they stopped stealing our booty. Number two, you slash immigration.
So racism.
That's just a supply and demand issue. No more doctors getting kickbacks from the pharmaceutical companies to prescribe drugs. And how about get a job? Because most companies provide health care. If you're 30 and went to grad school and are an Ethiopian barista, like your friend in Colorado, yeah, she doesn't have health insurance because she doesn't work. Also, MAHA, ever heard of it? Make America Healthy Again. It's called Eat Right.
MAHA, ever heard of it? You mean the one where food is getting recalled left and right because it's poisoned? How many recalls have we had this year? They just recalled blueberries and put them on the so dangerous list that if you eat them, you could die. It's called MAHA. They haven't done anything to make America healthy again. Literally nothing. Literally nothing. Oh, I know. It's such a joke. The health insurance that they provide is a joke. Let's listen to a sane person talk about healthcare who actually won't gaslight you because they live in a country that actually. Where is it? Okay. Here's a video. Icelandic people. Here's a video real quick of a sane person talking about how fucking crazy it is, the way that our healthcare system is run. And then I want you to keep in mind what, first of all, again, we can't skip past how insane it is that Jesse Waters brings up MAHA when literally there's poison outbreaks in food like every week. Like every week there's like an outbreak of foodborne illness. How well is MAHA actually really doing? You can't even buy blueberries. But also this insane mentality of go fuck yourself. First, blame immigrants. Then he tries to insult the Congress candidate in Colorado for saying she was a barista. So notice that what he's saying is if you're a barista, you shouldn't have health care. You got that? Because notice the way he mocks her. He says, oh, well, if you're just a barista in Colorado, that's why you don't have health care because you don't have a job. First of all, she was a lawyer. She was a lawyer. Then she became a barista. But what your fucking rich, privileged, out of touch ass is actually saying is that people who work as baristas don't deserve health care.
And exercise, maybe try that. I do it, and I don't whine and go to the doctor for every ache and pain. I hurt my knee the other day at the beach. I hyperextended it. Now, I don't know if it hyperextended. I self-diagnosed. But I didn't run to the doctor and like jack up everybody's healthcare bills. I did my own research on the internet. And
the insane thing about this too is people often avoid going to the doctor. He's acting like people are literally running to the doctor for everything when most people actually avoid it. Thank you so much for the super chat, Sido. Late to the party. I'm off to the start of the stream. Party in the front lately. That's a Mohawk reference. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you're here. Like, this is insane. No one is just willy-nilly going to the doctor. And the fact that he brought up MAHA when there's literally like cholera or not cholera. What is the thing that keeps having an outbreak? Yeah, we want to talk about Maha. Drug companies Moderna and Merck have just announced a vaccine that could stop cancer from spreading, funded with mRNA NIH research grants. So again, HHH Secretary RFK Jr. chose to end 22 similar mRNA vaccine research projects worth $500 million in 2025. So this guy's not only a totally deranged anti-vaxxer, but again, they're actually making it worse. This whole Maha thing is such a scam. Yes, that's what I was looking for. Not cholera, cyclospora. There was an outbreak of that on lettuce. Yeah, Justin, 2 people have died in Michigan's Cladospora outbreak. The explosive diarrhea-causing parasite. The FDA is issuing its highest level threat warning of a recall of frozen blueberries and mixed berries across 8 states due to E. coli contamination. Cancer, Cladospora, measles, leprosy, salmonella, trichinosis, meningitis, screwworm, malaria, tularemia, dengue fever, Ebola, listeria, tapeworm, avian flu, E. coli, hepatitis, COVID. All are great fans of Maha. Like, this is a joke. So the fact that Jesse Waters actually brought that up for real is a joke. And then again, his other quote unquote healthcare plan is all about individuality, which again is what a lot of, rich American propagandists like him do. It's a pull yourself up by your bootstrap mentality. Just eat healthy and exercise. Hopefully you don't get one of these viruses or, parasites. Hopefully you don't get one of those, but just pull yourself up by your bootstraps, eat healthy, and hope that your deductible is not so big at your job with your employer-sponsored health care that you can go to the doctor.
As explosive as I used to be.
We thank you for your sacrifice.
Well, thank you very much. But we have to start treating like everyone like babies, cradle to the grave health insurance. I don't want that. This is a self-reliant country.
This is a self-reliant country. He's literally saying, I don't want people to have health care because it's a self-reliant country. I don't want people to have health care. It's a self-reliant country. Literally saying it. And the so-called Democrat on the panel, the liberal on the panel, is sitting there ear to ear grinning. What a fucking idiot. Ear to ear grinning, smiling over this horse shit of him saying, I don't want people to have health care because this is a self-reliant country. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Built on rugged individualism, and I'll pay for poor and elderly health care. I will not pay for healthy, wealthy, hardworking Americans' health care. They have to pay their own way.
Okay.
Let's treat you like a baby. No running on the sand, Jesse.
Oh my, I just said that Americans should die and shouldn't have health care. I just said that Americans shouldn't have health care. They shouldn't be able to afford going to a doctor. Oh my gosh, it's insane. Okay, so that was insanity. Now listen to a sane person. See, if you live in this country, to live in America is to be constantly gaslit by the ruling class. To live in America is to be constantly gaslit by the ruling class. So let's listen to a sane person who doesn't live with 24/7 capitalist propaganda talk about her experience with American healthcare, who is Icelandic. This woman from Iceland was living in America, and she details her experience of living in this insane country with our insane healthcare system, and she describes what it feels like to be a person in a sane country dealing with our healthcare system. Bro. 1 minute and 20 seconds in, and I still am not realizing that it's not playing. You guys, a minute and 20 seconds in, and I just realized it's not playing. I need another monitor, bro. This is crazy. No, it wasn't playing. Yeah, this is more just stream of consciousness. I don't really have a structure. This isn't like a structured, and maybe I should, but it's not really like a structured show. It's just kind of like a stream and it's kind of off the cuff and we just hang out and talk about whatever's happening. I guess live streaming.
So when I tell Icelandic people of my experience from having given birth here in the States, they usually don't even believe how bad it is. It is inhumane how pregnant women are treated here. And it is so outlandishly cruel that, I mean, the things that happened to me would simply never happen in Iceland to anyone ever. And it's actually pretty routine what happened to me. So the thing that you would need to understand if you don't live in the US, if you live in a country that actually care for its people, is that in America, health insurance is privatized. And without it, you have no access to healthcare. You can go to the emergency room. They will make sure you're not dying. And if you're not dying, they will discharge you because you have no means of paying for treatment. They will bill you, but people ignore that bill. But you have no access to primary care or regular treatment. If you fill certain conditions, you can go on Medicaid, but if you don't fulfill those conditions, if you fall into like the...
And actually, a lot of times, even when people don't pay the bill, they get in horrible medical debt, and then that medical debt just keeps adding up until they have to file for bankruptcy.
Middle class, where you make too much to get help, but you don't make enough to have health insurance, you're just fucked. I had health insurance, but in America, you have health insurance through your employer. So if you have a job and you're full-time, you qualify for benefits. So you have the extreme good fortune of getting to pay hundreds of dollars a month that is deducted directly out of your paycheck to have health insurance.
And again, that doesn't count. See what I'm saying? When like a sane person actually describes our healthcare system, you see how fucking crazy it is. We're used to it. We're used to it because we live here. We're used to the gaslighting. We're used to the gaslighting. We're used to the capitalist propaganda because we live here. But when a person that's not from this country explains our healthcare system, they explain it in a way that makes it, that rightfully shows it for the insanity that it is. When a person who is not from here explains our healthcare system, it is rightly exposed for how fucking crazy it is. And yes, when you get it taken out of your paycheck, that does not count. Your doctor visits. You're not getting it taken out of your paycheck and then you just get to go to the doctor. No. You get this $100 a month taken out of your paycheck, sometimes thousands of dollars a month out of your paycheck, just to have it. Just to have it. That doesn't count the money that you have to spend when you go to the doctor for your copayment. That doesn't count the actual treatment. That doesn't count the deductible that you have to meet. And the deductible means you have to pay a certain amount. Let's say you have an $1,000 deductible out of pocket until you meet a certain deductible, and then the insurance will start to cover it. It's insane.
Health insurance does not pay your whole medical bill, by the way. It's basically just your ticket to go see the doctor and get a bill.
Exactly.
I, at 19 weeks pregnant, was diagnosed with preeclampsia, which is incredibly early, toxemia. I had blood pressure of 165 over 98. It was completely uncontrollable. It would climb up. The lower values would climb up, and we were having a very hard time keeping it under control. Protein in my urine, all those good things. OB told me to get into bed and to stay there. I wasn't able to do that, but because in the United States, when you're pregnant, if you're lucky enough, you might qualify for something called the FMLA, which is basically protected time away from your work where they cannot fire you or take your benefits away. You only get 12 weeks of that. And I was on week then 20, which means that if I had gone on FMLA, I would have used up every single day that I had, that I was planning to use after giving birth to spend time at home with my baby, just to lay in bed. And I would have ran out of it on week 32 of my pregnancy, and I would have had to go back to work. Well, why would I have to go back to work? Well, because my health insurance depended on me having that job. If I do not have health insurance, that would have meant that I simply do not have a doctor anymore. I would have had to give birth in the emergency room with no prenatal care. Planned Parenthood may have taken pity on me. Point is, I would have lost my health care access. So I had to go to work.
Yep.
And I worked throughout my pregnancy. And I was induced prematurely because my blood pressure hit like 195.
Also, I think she said she had preeclampsia, or was that what she said? I know that my sister had a lot of issues with her second daughter. Both of my sisters, one of my sisters had, when she had her daughter, she had a C-section, and like a couple weeks later had to go back to work. It's just so disgusting.
Over 168. So I had an emergency induction and I had a premature baby that went to the NICU. By the time that this happened, I had missed out on so much work that almost all of my 12 weeks were used up. So I had to go back to work in a diaper. And by the way, those 12 weeks didn't get paid for them.
Yep.
Like, this would never fucking happen in Iceland. It would just never happen. None of it. And it's shocking to me that Americans allow it to happen to them. So when I tell Iceland,
I think that one of the things that really got me about this video, aside from like she's accurately describing how insane our healthcare system is and how inhumane and like barbaric it is, the way a normal person would. But I think that one of the things that really bothers me about it is, that really struck me when I was watching it, was the end when she says, it is horrifying to me that Americans put up with this.
None of it. And it's shocking to me that Americans allow it to happen to them.
Yeah, that Americans allow it to happen again to them. And it really bugs me that that's true, because there is a certain level of that we just allow it. Because people treat people like just disposable commodities here. To kind of bring this back, because we have about 10 minutes left, to kind of bring this back, because I actually forgot, to the beginning of the stream, we were talking about Hayden Panettiere, to her, how she got dropped by Neutrogena because she had postpartum depression. That's how people treat people in this country. Use them for all they're worth, suck them dry, and then dispose of them. Which was also stupid of Neutrogena, because half the population is women. Why wouldn't you want to like appeal to the market of the many women who have dealt with postpartum depression? But no, because we live in a very sick society, in a late stage capitalist hellscape, where people, especially women and people who can get pregnant and trans people, are treated as disposable. As soon as they are done using them and squeezing them of all they have, especially the children and the youth, then they dispose of them. So contrast this video with that Jesse Waters clip. Well, technically, they didn't quote unquote fire her because of it. They just didn't renew her contract, which we see you. We see you. We know. She talks about it here, and this clip is like 10 years old, 12 years old. Bro. All right, I don't know where the clip is. There was a clip of her talking on like Regis and Kelly or whatever the fuck. Or it's not Kelly anymore. Let me see. That's annoying.
Clauses, which was a huge had a huge impact in my life, because I was a teenager and I had all the paparazzi around me catching all of these gory moments, like every moment, every cigarette that I smoked, or bad outfit, or oh, she's looking chunky in a bathing suit, oh, she has a fat vagina. I mean, I went through all of that, you know. They were there for everything. Neutrogena was a huge part of my life. I had the morals clauses. They caught absolutely everything, and of all the things that they would fire me over, this was the last thing that I thought they would ever fire me over. And when I actually went out onto stage, it was live with Kelly and Michael, I had no intention of or plan to talk about postpartum depression. It just came up and I was just being honest, and never for a second did I think that anyone or cared that anyone would have a bad reaction to it. It was my truth. So when I got that call that Neutrogena wanted to fire me over that, and my representative at the time said, that's illegal. You can't do that. And even though, you know, she saved the day that year, I knew that was going to be it. That I was not going to be invited back the next year. And I had worked with these people for 10 years, and I remember not hearing a word from anybody, not a great working with you for 10 years, not a nice
hope you're okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
hope you're good. We wish you well. And I remember that really breaking my heart. I wouldn't change it for the world. I wouldn't take it back. But as I said, of all the things that I had been caught doing, that being the thing that was where they drew the line, and it was immoral, was shocking to me. And it made me realize and understand exactly what people thought of women who experience postpartum depression, and how misunderstood it is, how much stigma there is around it. and how, I mean, we're already in pain. We are already like the worst possible thing. One of the worst possible things in the world to happen to a woman is already happening to her. The last thing we need is, you know, the icing on the cake, you know, and feeling so judged and in such a negative way.
It's really sad how this is another reason why I never wanted to have kids. That's another reason. There's a few reasons why I never wanted to have kids, but that's one of them. Because of the way that society treats people who have kids, specifically women and femme people who have kids, is disgusting. In this country, it's disgusting. And whether I had the language to even describe exactly what it was, which actually I did, because I remember writing a poem about the way that women are treated in our society and how they are discarded like trash when I was 19. So even though like I didn't have all the language to describe it, I like intuitively knew it. You know it. You know it. You get taught that really, really early. Without anybody even having to say it to you. And that's why like I remember writing a poem like that so young, because I knew it. Honestly, I wish I still had it. I wish I still had it. I would love to read it again. I wrote it on a computer, like a laptop. I wrote it on a laptop that I've since lost years ago. And I wish I still had it. I wish I could read it again. But I remember writing it and just being like fully not even grasping, but grasping enough that like I was 19 years old. I just turned 19. But knowing that my value as a human being, as a person who had been born a woman, socialized as a woman, that value was, thank you guys, was, I see the bless you in the chat, was very short-lived. That there was a shelf life on my value as a human being. And that's what I really get. And I knew that even at 19. And that's also one of the reasons why I didn't want to have kids. Why? Because I was refusing to accept that the only value that I would have as somebody who was raised and socialized as a woman in this society would be youth that was fleeting, and that I knew the second I turned to 18, the clock was going backwards. And I knew that then. But also that my only other value would be in being a mom. And I was like, I reject that. I reject that. And like I said, that's not the only reason why I didn't want to have kids. I also didn't want to have kids. It was it's like many things in life. It's not just one thing. It's usually many things. That was one of the reasons. Another reason was because of the trauma that I endured when I was growing up and what my parents did to me and put me and my sisters through. I thought, I don't want to do that to someone else. I don't want to put a child through that. And then the third reason was, of course, being a hypochondriac. I was always terrified at the idea of being pregnant. When you think about all the horrible shit that happens to so many women when they're pregnant, I was like, nah, I'm good. Nothing would send me into a panic more than when I was afraid I was pregnant, which happened a bunch of times because, as you guys know, I am an alcoholic in recovery. So there were times where I would wake up and I could not remember if I had used protection or not. And I would get scared that maybe I was going to get pregnant, and it would send me into a fucking panic attack spiral. The fear that I was going to get pregnant. That was like my second biggest fear. Biggest fear was death, dying. Second biggest fear was getting pregnant. Oh, thanks for the super chat, Boney. I appreciate it and the kind words. I just like, that's why like I really feel for her there when she's talking about it, because it's like they treated her like trash. Well, yeah, and that's the thing is that I actually do have you know, family that has kids. So I can still get to enjoy, you know, being around my nieces and watching them grow up, you know, cuz 3 of my sisters have kids. I guess I have 5 nieces and nephews overall cuz one of my sisters has a son and a daughter. And then another one of my sisters has 2 daughters, and then another one of my sisters has a daughter. Yeah, so that just like made me really sad. I hope that people read her book. And I didn't know all this about her. I don't know when that podcast happened, but I didn't know how like much tragedy she had been through, because I really didn't follow. I'm not, and it's not because I disliked her or anything, but it's just because I'm not really a actor and actress person. Like I'm not really like a Hollywood person. Like I don't follow celebrities, movies, actors. Like there are so many movies that are so popular that I've never seen. Like people couldn't believe it when I went to my niece's birthday. My niece just had her 10th birthday. They had an Avatar themed birthday party. I've never seen Avatar. Because I'm not really a movie person now that I'm an adult. And I think part of that has to do with the fact that all I did when we were kids was watch movies. So anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this up and go cry. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to cry. I got to clean up a little bit. I got to do a return. Okay. But you know I love you guys. You know I love you guys. I honestly think that's why I never followed like celebrity culture once I became an adult, because I think I was low-key traumatized by all the movies I was like forced to watch when I was a kid, like the fact that that's all we did and like didn't go to school. It's why I didn't want to watch the newest Toy Stories, because Toy Story was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. I could quote the whole thing. Like without watching it, I could walk through the entire movie of Toy Story and quote all of it. Like say the whole script. Which one of you watched? Did you put a link in, Boney? And yes, thank you for throwing that up. Please make sure that you like and subscribe to the channel. Oh, when she reads her journal. Okay, yeah, definitely. I'll look at that too. I want to see that. Let me see. Let me make sure I have it open. Hold on. Oh, it's only 5 minutes. We can watch it. Yeah, we can watch it. It's not that long. Does anybody know when this interview happened? Because I feel like it didn't get a lot of play, and then she died, and now it's everywhere. Okay, why isn't there sound? it's interesting because I really relate to that, and I had said the same thing in a song that I wrote years ago, where one of the lyrics of this song that I wrote was, "I'd rather be in pain than be alone." Wait a second. Bro. Wait, are you guys saying it's not playing? I'm gonna lose my mind. Why do I keep doing this? Why do I keep doing this? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is literally like the 4th time I've done this today, you guys. What is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? This is like the 4th time I've done it today. Embarrassing, bro. Bro. Okay. Let's try this again. She says that she realized through her journaling that she was putting up with being abused because she didn't want to be alone. And it reminded me of a song that I wrote about my ex-husband where I say in the lyrics that I'd rather be in pain than be alone. So I really relate to her saying that because I hated being alone, that I stayed in my marriage with my abusive husband for a lot longer than I should have because I didn't want to be alone.
Life, but for how long I put up with it. This is a topic I've been journaling a lot about it, trying to organize my
Embarrassing that I let it play for like a good 4 minutes before I realized that it wasn't playing.
thoughts and my feelings. And I did journal last night, and for the first time I really feel like I was able to put into words what has been going on for the past decade of my life in regards to the abuse. And I was actually going to ask if I could read it because this topic is really important for me to word properly.
Yeah, please, yeah.
It took me a long time to finally see the situation clearly. I've had to do a lot of soul searching and therapy around this topic because allowing somebody to get away with harming me was so unlike me. The more I thought about it and analyzed it, the more connections I made between the abuse I was allowing to transpire and the abuse I've gone through in my past. They say that you end up marrying one of your parents, and no, I'm not married, but I found a very interesting connection between this abusive behavior and my mother's abusive behavior. Even though they would both shake their heads and say I was crazy to think there was anything similar about the two of them, there definitely was. I realized that I was more afraid of being alone than being abused. And in order to be around that kind of behavior, it took me dulling my senses and numbing myself with substances in order to silence that rational voice in my head that was telling me exactly what was going on and the many reasons why I needed to get myself out of this toxic relationship and as far away from this person as possible. Somehow, every time I found the strength to get away from my abusers, they would always find their way back into my life one way or another. It was like being on a hamster wheel in this endless dizzying cycle. And the craziest part and the hardest part to understand was that the physical abuse would come out of left field, but it was always when he was drinking, same as my mom. We could be dancing and joking, and then a switch would flip and suddenly it was on. Something would snap and it was like watching a predator suddenly smell blood. I was dealing with this Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde situation. I tried to fight back in every way that I could think of. I took every approach from standing my ground to attempting to calm the situation to running and hiding from it until he sobered up. Then, once he was sober, that good part of him would be back and he would see the damage he had done and he was devastated and apologetic, and it seemed so honest and genuine that I was torn. I thought back to everything I've done wrong in the past and the forgiveness I was shown. So I think a part of me felt an obligation to be just as forgiving. I desperately wanted to make him a better person. I wanted to fix him. I'm a really strong person at my core, and anyone who knows me was shocked that I would ever allow anything like this to happen. I have this bright, powerful light in me that comes on, but then it would dim around that kind of intense conflict. I found myself trying to be smaller and weaker just to avoid a battle because there's no reasoning with the unreasonable, and as strong as I am, I couldn't physically stand up to a grown man. I know I have a big heart, and I always try to see the good in people, so much so that it's been to my detriment at times. The worst part was that by allowing the cycle to continue, it hurt the people I love who came to my rescue, and I cannot allow that to continue to happen. In order to finally get off the hamster wheel and put an end to the cycle of
I don't really know what happened. Yeah, I think my internet went out. That was the end of it, though. It's not playing anymore, but that was the end of it. That's really sad. It's actually so sad. And it's fucked up too because people so basically this is so sad. At some point in the podcast, which I've seen clips of, she says, I have so much more life to live, which is really heartbreaking when you think about the fact that it was only a couple months later that she died after saying that. I don't exactly know what the surrounding circumstances were or why she was in South Carolina. Although I did say, which some people got mad at when it first broke that she had died, that parents should be shamed and scolded who put their kids and profit off their kids for content or film or music or fame, whatever it may be, Hollywood, content creation. People who do that to their kids are horrible people, and their kids always end up fucked up, and it's abuse. And it's abuse. We treat it like it's normal, but it's fucking psychotic. And people got mad at that, but it turns out, no, that absolutely is true. Her mom is so evil that her mom literally put out like the coldest statement about her and was like, oh yeah, sad that she died. She owed me money. Like the mom brought up that she owed her money. Like it's so evil. It's so evil. So, yeah, parents who do that to their kids are fucking sick. They're sick. I remember saying it at the time when like Justin Bieber was still a kid. I was like, these people are sick and he's gonna grow up really fucked up. And look at him now. Somebody needs to watch out for him. They need to watch out for Britney Spears. They need to watch out for Amanda Bynes. Somebody needs to intervene before it's too late. Because I know that, Britney Spears was freed of the conservatorship. and I don't know what it is, but there is something still, without trying to be judgmental, because Britney Spears was my queen. I was a Britney Spears guy growing up. But something is wrong with her. There's something off. And people act like there's not, because she got free from the conservatorship, but something is not okay. So anyway, thank you guys for joining. Thanks for sending that, Boney. That was so sad. Rest in peace, Hayden. I hope that her daughter, it's so sad that she has a daughter. Now her daughter's never going to have her mom. It's just so sad. Thank you for throwing that up, Boney. Yes, you can. And even if you don't have the ability to support my content through Patreon or becoming a member or tipping me, watching the videos all the way through on YouTube helps a lot. Watching the videos all the way through that I post on YouTube help a lot, and commenting and interacting with them and sharing them and all that. So thank you guys so much. Please make sure that you follow me on all of my channels and my link tree. And I will see you guys Sunday, because Sunday is Coffee Sunday. So I love you all. Free Palestine, abolish ICE. Rest in peace, Hayden Panettiere. And I'll see you guys on Sunday. Bye. Shout out to Boney. Bye, guys. Love you all.